Hi. So today I want to answer the question, how do we know that the increase in CO2 in our atmosphere is due to the use of fossil fuels? Now, we've seen recently the Keeling curve, which basically shows the measured CO2 concentration in our atmosphere. And of course, the main theme there is that we can see a steady rise in CO2 concentration over the past several decades. You may ask, why is CO2 increasing? And you may see all kinds of things online, such as it could be from volcanic emissions. Well, this is interesting because when we looked at past climate change, we saw that there were periods of time, such as the Cretaceous, where there was a lot of CO2 in the atmosphere, and we believe that to be from volcanic eruptions, a series of volcanic eruptions, not a few or a single volcanic eruption. So could that be the case today? Could we be seeing a rise in CO2 concentration from the emissions from volcanoes? Well, the short answer is no. And to get into the details, let's look at the evidence for how we know that the increase in CO2 is due to the use of fossil fuels. And there are basically three lines of evidence. So number one, we can look at the use of fossil fuels and see how that tracks compared to CO2. So here's a diagram showing you world fossil fuel consumption from the 1950s to recent time. And we basically see an increase that is comparable, at least qualitatively, to the Keeling curve. So we can say that there's a correlation between world fossil fuel consumption and the global concentration of CO2 in the atmosphere. So that is a correlation, of course, not necessarily a causation. So we need more evidence. Well, we can look at the CO2 in the atmosphere and measure its carbon isotopic composition. So if you remember when we talked about ice cores, we dealt with oxygen isotopes, oxygen 16 and oxygen 18, and we saw that everything in the world has different ratios of oxygen 16 to oxygen 18. Well, the same can be said for carbon isotopes, where we have carbon 12 and carbon 13. So we can measure the ratio of carbon isotopes in atmospheric CO2, and we have been doing that for some time. This is from Cape Grim in Tasmania. And the measurement of the delta C13 of the CO2 in the atmosphere has been showing a steady decrease. Okay, this is not a huge decrease in terms of per mil, so this is the same per mil notification that we use for delta O18 when we're dealing with ice cores. But here we're measuring the delta C13 of the atmospheric carbon dioxide. And starting in the 1990s, we had about minus 7.8 per mil, and now we're down to below minus 8.3 or 8.4 per mil. So there's a small but measurable decrease in the delta C13 of atmospheric carbon dioxide. So we can then ask, why is that so? Well, we know that all fossil fuels have a relatively low delta C13 signature, somewhere between about minus 25 and minus 45 per mil. Okay, and this is due to fractionation by photosynthesis. So just like for oxygen isotopes, certain processes will fractionate carbon isotopes. So in the case of photosynthesis, plants or algae or whatever, in the process of photosynthesis, they're going to prefer to take up molecules that contain more C12, the lighter isotope, versus C13 or the heavier isotope. So there's going to be a change in the ratio of carbon isotopes through the process of photosynthesis. So that's why plants and photosynthetic organisms all have a low delta C13, and fossil fuels are made from plants and other photosynthetic organisms, marine organisms. So the fossil fuels will also have a low delta C13. Now, if we burn a fossil fuel, we're going to be putting CO2 into the atmosphere that has a carbon isotope signature to the starting material or the starting fossil fuel material. So because these all have low delta C13 values, when we burn them, we're putting relatively low delta C13 carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. And the more we do that, the more lighter carbon dioxide we put into the atmosphere, and the effect of that is this slight decrease in the atmospheric CO2 isotopic composition, or the delta C13 of the CO2 in the atmosphere. So it's like we have this unique fingerprint, isotopic fingerprint, that's related to fossil fuels, and that we can see that fingerprint slowly being recorded in the atmosphere over time. Now you may be wondering, what's the typical delta C13 of CO2 from a volcano? Well, that's about -6 per mil, which would be off the chart here above here. So this decrease in delta C13 cannot be due to more volcanic CO2 or more emissions from volcanoes. Otherwise, the composition would tend to increase to lower values or smaller values, whereas we're seeing a decrease to more negative values. That's not the only line of evidence. So we have our third line of evidence, and that is, so here is a plot showing you CO2 concentration from Mauna Loa. So this is essentially the Keeling curve. But more recently, we started measuring the oxygen in the atmosphere. And we see that over the past few years, there's a decrease in oxygen in the atmosphere. Now, this is a little bit of a different notation here. This is the delta O2 concentration, so the change in oxygen concentration, which is relatively small compared to our 20-some% of O2 in the atmosphere, but there is a measurable decrease in oxygen over time, which corresponds to this increase in carbon dioxide. Now, they talked about this in the movie Thin Ice that you would have seen. And so this is basically due to the fact that when you burn a fossil fuel, it's like burning wood, you need oxygen, you need air, just like when you're making your camping fire. So when you burn a fossil fuel, you're taking the fossil fuel, you're adding oxygen to allow the fire to take place, or the burning to take place, and you're combining the carbon from the fossil fuel with oxygen to produce CO2, which is basically the waste product. So we see this small decrease in oxygen, which is consistent if we were burning CO2. And again, if this CO2 was from, say, volcanoes or some other source, you wouldn't necessarily expect this correlated decrease in oxygen. So in summary, we have these three lines of evidence that point to fossil fuels as being the main reason why we're seeing an increase in CO2 in our atmosphere. So number one, the increase in atmospheric CO2 concentration is correlated with the use of fossil fuels over the past few decades. Over that time period, we also see a decrease in the delta C13 of atmospheric CO2, which is consistent with the burning of low delta C13 fossil fuels. And finally, we see a decrease in oxygen concentration, which is consistent with burning of fossil fuels. And this ties in the story nicely. So that's a quick summary of the evidence of how we know that the CO2 rise in our atmosphere is due to the use of fossil fuels.